Well, hello everyone, it's Rincon Steve. Welcome to my channel. We're talking about teardrops. Continuing with our teardrop build. I've had a couple days off, a weekend, and we went away. So we're picking up where we left off. I think last time we were talking, we had just finished putting Phylon on. The next big thing is to get started on the hatch. All right, I've got the arch for my hatch support. First one, this will be the one that will cut out and then make everything after this. This is only just a 1/2-inch piece of plywood that I put alongside it. I realized I couldn't just scribe the arch right here because our hinge is actually offset up. So this support plane is actually higher than this. So we get everything going on here. We got the molding, weather stripping, and that support is going to go up against that hinge. So that plane is above this. And I figure it's pretty close to, well, it's close to a 1/2 inch. So I've scribed it a little higher than this. And really has nothing to do with how tight it is. It just makes sure that the arch is in the right place so that it matches it when it comes down on it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've been thinking a lot about it and doing the math, and I think it's right. But if it's not, we'll redo it. Okay, so we're going to get started on cutting this out and then sanding it up and all that. But here it is. I've got it cut out. This is my template, and I've laid it out onto my piece of 1x12. Out of this piece I can get 5, and with the width of my galley I need 7. So fortunately I have 2 pieces of wood here. So I'll get all 7 cut out. Part of the figuring here the other day is getting my length right. Got a 1/4-inch gap that we got to have here for our hinge, and it comes down, and then we need a 3/8 gap here between the flange it touches and the distance that we want it set back. So I just ripped a piece of plywood and got my 3/8. We also need the 3/8 here between the wall here and the door. And as I build this, I made up this little spacer. This was just the other side of the template I made. It's not, you can see the angles off, but that's all right. I just need it to put a spacer here, and we'll clamp everything together with the spacer there. So we'll get 7 of these across. You see I made another spacer here, 3/8 of an inch thick. And I don't know if I told you as well, that was another part of the frustration. I opened my package of all my aluminum molding pieces for the roof and all the seams that you got to put your molding on. And they were all scratched up. It's almost like they put it in this tube and it was like a tumbler. It just rolled around and everything was chafed and scratched. I don't know what they're thinking, because it wasn't just those aluminum pieces, but it was my rods for the latch handle, the hinge, the hurricane hinge for the door. I also got a table hinge attachment for the side. So they were all in this tube rolling around in shipment. Fortunately, I contacted them yesterday, sent them pictures, and they agreed to replace them. So they're just going to send me some new aluminum roof edges. So that was kind of part of the anxiety yesterday too. All these things seem to be like, am I doing this right? Now I'm sat back with all this other stuff, but we worked through it. So I'm going to get on to cutting this stuff out today. I'm going to set up a router table, get my router in a piece of plywood basically, and then I can just screw this template onto the top of those and get the shape exactly clean and square and all that. So follow along as we take this chore on. Well, I think you all know the drill by now. Process here, I got my template. I've got little holes with recess drilled here. I'm going to use some 1-inch screws. And I'm going to screw it right onto this piece that I just cut out of a 3-piece of 3/4 inch. With the jigsaw kind of just real rough, the router should be able to take care of all this extra edging here. Just need to get this on here right. We got that. It's pretty good right there. Maybe just take a piece of sandpaper just to knock off any of these high points. Put one screw on that. Okay, so let's stick it on the table now. We'll push it through like this. Boy, that works nice. I should have set up a router table a long time ago. That really makes simple work of that. Yeah, you live and learn, right? So here's the layout. I don't know if you can see this. We've got, you know, the first one, which is the full length. That's where this support here will screw into from here. It's just kind of loose. And the second one fits on the other side, so we've cut that. You can see I got a chunk missing. That's the issue when you're cutting these and the grain doesn't go with your material. You run the risk of it splitting. So this is the only one that came out like that, so I assume that, or I know it's best just to put this sistered with this one, not on its own out here somewhere. And then down here, we cut our angle on our piece. This is about 10-11 degrees. So that looks pretty good. Same thing over here. And I'm just about ready to fasten these together. And then we'll get our pieces in here that go across. So we've got our other 4 pieces. And that'll be our structure. Okay, the first step here to putting this together is we got the 2 side rails. You need to glue and staple them together. So I've taken this one off. I'm in the process now of gluing and screwing this. So let's put this together and then we'll start fastening the rest of them right on the teardrop itself. So I got everything in place. And it's just, you know, friction fit. Nothing's, only thing that's fastened are the two end pieces just stuck together. So all I'm going to do right now is just glue the supports with the cross pieces and let them dry. And then we can just take the whole thing apart, take the whole thing down together, fasten our top rail and our bottom rail onto it. And then also screw each piece once the glue is set and got it in place. All right, so now I'm just going to do that. Do my gluing. Okay, we're going to take our clamps off. Take this out. And get our top and bottom rails screwed on, as well as fastening, or at least putting a screw through the ones we just glued. Probably been sitting here for a couple hours. Alright, we should be able to lift this right out. Let's take this out first. The top rail. And our bottom rail kind of stuck with us. Alright, so we're just finishing up with the other side, screwing these off. Got both end rails on, everything fastened except for this one. And this will have it frame done. Alright, there it is, the hatch. Looks good, huh? Well, there she is, all in place. Happy with that so far. We'll next step will be to get the skin on it, plywood, and then get the wiring, the lights in here, the latch. Actually, we still have I got space. I got to fill these in with pieces of wood too, so that'll really help brace this. It'll bring everything up and really firm it up too. So. But we'll save that for another day. But in the meantime, we appreciate you checking this out. All right, everyone. Have a good night.